Hi everyone, it's Thursday morning. As we've seen in the news lately, the conflict in the Middle East is escalating and it's hitting us. And it hurts at the petrol pump. With prices soaring and talk of supply disruptions, we're just wondering, why is Australia so vulnerable? We remember there seems to be plenty of local industry in Australia. But with the current crisis, we wanted to know if things get really bad, can we just turn the tap back on at our own refineries? The first thing in Australia is Australia's refining capacity shrunk dramatically. We are down to just 2 operating refineries in the entire country. One is the Lytton refinery in Brisbane and the other is the Geelong refinery in Victoria. These 2 plants only produce merely about 15 to 20% of the fuel we actually use. What about the rest? We import almost all of it as finished product. Recent report from March 2026, it looks like we only have about 30 to 38 days of fuel stockpile. Pretty low when we compare with another advanced countries, which is about 90 days or more. That's why the government just announced they are releasing 20% of our strategic reserves to keep regional areas moving. So, the big question, can we just restart the refineries that closed down? Well, probably not. So, looked into the history of places like BP, Quinara, or ExxonMobil in Altona, which closed just a few years ago only. But it's not that simple. If the refinery is closed once, the equipment degrades incredibly fast, or the sites are just converted into simple import terminals, like basically just big storage tanks. Experts are saying would be billions of dollars and take long years of working to bring back them online. So in an immediate crisis like this one we are facing now, those old plants are unfortunately not an option. So we need to check where our petrol and diesel are actually coming from if we aren't making it ourselves. Around 80%, I think. So we found out we are heavily dependent on Singapore, South Korea, and number 3, Malaysia. But the main thing is we have to realize that even though we don't buy much crude oil directly from the Middle East, the refineries in Singapore and Korea do. If the Strait of Hormuz is blocked, those Asian refineries can get the raw material, the crude oil, to make the petrol they sell to us. So even recent news says several shipments bound for Australia have already been deferred because countries are starting to hold supply for their own people. It's a massive global domino effect, unfortunately. So, what's the government doing? What's the plan B? It seems the government is getting pretty creative. So they've actually lowered the fuel quality standards temporarily. So this allows our local refineries to sell fuel more quicker, easier, not need to meet high quality standard or something like that. And then government also signing emergency deals with Singapore to guarantee supply lines stay open. So the current situation is a wake-up call for how much we rely on global supply chains for something as basic as getting to work or moving food across the country. We already noticing out of stock sign in many petrol stations, unfortunately. Have a great day. Bye bye.